Okay, what we're going to do here is show you how to splice a broken piano string. And we're going to pretend that these two pieces are a broken string. Well, this is your main string here. We're going to pretend that this is a splice. We're going to splice and tie this part on to this string and making it longer, so that then once it's tied together here, we can make a coil on this end and put it around our tuning pin. But our string is about this much too short and can't go on the tuning pins because it's broken off at the becket. So we're going to splice this longer piece on here and make the string longer. Okay, so first thing we do, first thing I might mean to mention, the tool you need a pair of pliers for bending loops in piano wire. You can get them from piano supply companies, or you can do what I did and buy some sharp nose vice grips, and you take and put the top part on a grinder and grind it to where it's round, or much more round. If you leave it like this bottom jaw, it'll put a real sharp bend in your string, and you do not want that for sure. You want a nice and smooth round loop, so you have to have something round up here. So first we're going to do that. We're going to take and put a loop in this splice part. So we're going to grip this and loop this around, and I'm going to take and oops, these are brand new pliers and I haven't got them quite perfectly adjusted the way I like them yet. Okay, so now we have this loop. Now you can see the loop has looped around, and then the tail has come on top of this wire. So it could have been the other way, it doesn't really matter, but whatever side this tail is laying on, we now want to take this knot or this loop area and we want to bend it slightly this way. So that just makes it easier to work with. So I'm going to take a pair of pliers and just put a bend in it like that. So now when we look at it, you can see it's got a bend in it. I can get this in focus where you can see it properly. Hold it properly here. There you go. You can see it's got a bend in it. Okay, now we're going to take the end of the piano string that's still in the piano, and we're now going to put it up through this hole of this loop. Okay, so now this is the important part. This tail has to loop around and come in between these two strings. Okay, so that's important to remember. That tail has to loop around and come in between these two strings. Now we're going to take this end and we're going to create a loop here, and it's going to loop around this string, and then we're going to tuck the tail of this string down in between the two strings here. So we'll hold these separate like this, and now I like to just start this loop first, so I don't make a complete loop here, the first bend. I bend it down about like so, and then I study it for a second. And now I want to bring this around this string like so, and then I want to tuck that tail down in between those two strings. So we've got it there like that. Now I'm going to take my vice grips and tuck that tail down in between the two strings. Okay, then we pull it, and there we have our knot. And when you put tension on that string, that knot will get real small, and then you can cut off the excess of those tails, and we're all done.